What if your app could choose the smartest AI instantly? Same question, three completely different brains. I was tired of switching between tools, so I built one. Local LLM, ChatGPT API, and Claude. Hello everybody, welcome back to my video. In the previous video, we have developed an application using frontier models, using copilots, and then in the next video, I have worked on same application using local LLMs on my machine, on my MacBook Pro. The video links are somewhere on the screen. If you want to watch, you can see. Before we start, I want to request you to subscribe my channel and provide your comment or your thoughts about the video. Everybody nowadays building AI application. So I also starting with this my own application. So idea behind is that there are many frontier models and from different provider like Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, Google, Microsoft, even Grok. And they are each are good for something and not good for something else. And nowadays the local LLM models can easily run on a decent machine, and that is also can provide a good output for your local research, for your response. So what I've deciding here, that using local LLMs and using all this frontier model, I want to create my own application where I can decide for which question I want to use what model, what provider and model for different purpose. So let's get started. What is the plan is? So I built a hybrid chat application which is for local LLMs for privacy and offline, ChatGPT for accuracy and reasoning, Claude for long context and writing, all inside in one app. The idea is very simple. Front end sends a message, and same time we'll be providing the provider and model will be routing to the specific provider and model and get the message, send back and add into the history. So if you continue with the conversation, it will keep the history of your conversation and it will be keep passing to the model and it will keep getting the response. So this is the main approach. Obviously nowadays every developer is using Copilot to build the application. I put my requirement on the Copilot, created the architecture, created the application, and everything works smoothly. So unfortunately, or you can say fortunately, I have not written a single piece of code. Everything is done by Copilot for me. So let's walk through the code. So majorly I'm using three providers here: Google for Gemini, Claude from the Anthropic, other frontier model from the OpenAI. So for each, register yourself, open an account, and you have to pay minimal amount to start using those API. You have to create the keys for each in each provider. For local, I'm using the LM Studio, and that will be referring into my code. So let me open the code, and how it looks I'll show you in the code. So we started very simple. We created the product file first with the help of again using Copilot. I gave it a requirement, it's created functional document, and it created the goal, what we are looking for, what we are going to do it. This is the provider we are going to use. By default it is using the GPT 4.0 and others, and Gemini 1.5 and Claude 3.5, but later on I updated to latest version of these models. So very simple. It will have a UI, and that UI will have a left hand side will be drop down, right hand side for the model. And then we have a settings where we want to provide these information. System prompt, we want to set up the system prompt for it, this one. And then chat and chat history, and the message, we are going to input the message, and send button will send the message, and clear will clear the chat, and we start the new one. Obviously for the UI we are going to use the Gradio, and this is the structure looks like of the application, and we are going to use because these are the frontier model, we have to register, I have to create a project there, register and register key and use those keys into the code. And that's where we have 3 different keys: OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. And LM Studio is the local one, so it does not need any key. And it created architecture, very simple architecture, and this is the code will look like. This is the UI. We can say this is the structure. Browser, from browser we'll select Gradio UI layer. We have a drop down chat box, slider, text box. We'll give this information: build, message history, prepends, system prompt, if we have provided any system prompt, routes to a correct provider, and yield stream token back to UI. And each provider will have own API call, and whatever response it gives, it will yield or show on the UI or stream on the UI. Very simple. I think let's jump into the code. So this is a starting point, app application. It will configure the Gradio UI, and we build the UI here in this code and on the UI, and it will show build the UI and launch the application. And this is our chat application. This is our starting point. Request will come to this code will pick up the response and send this code to response to. It will select which model it needs to create, which provider it's going to use. So based on the provider, it will give us the class, and that class will be called. We're building here the message list with the system message, and then we have a history, and then we have provided instance and class. The CLS method will generate the instance of the specific. The routing is done by the provider instance. Once we have this thing, the provider instance will stream this message, and then we'll get the response and will show on the UI. So for example, let's take an example for OpenAI. So how it works. So we saw that this is our OpenAI provider, and we have a stream message. This stream message is getting the object of self, message, the model we want to run, the temperature, and max token. Yeah, for the OpenAI, we don't need a max token, but if it is a Anthropic, we need to provide the max token. We have provided this detail, and it will do the same thing. It will build the history, and then it will call the client chat completion create object, and then it will get the response and yield the content, and it will be showing on the UI. And so if you want to go to history, LM Studio, this is the same thing. LM Studio expose the URL which is OpenAI compatible, so it will work the same way the OpenAI works. So we all done. I think I don't need to explain much here. It's a very simple, very important code of this. This application is this part, which is connecting to the model, to the API, and providing the model, this yielding part. Similarly for OpenAI, this is our important part, which is connecting to the API, getting the data, passing the message, getting the data, and then Python is responding, passing this data to Gradio, and Gradio is showing on the UI. So this is our steps. Okay, so first we'll load the environment. Source chat bin activate. So this is our source. I'm loading the virtual environment. Using this virtual environment, I will run the code now. So Python chat.py. Let's see what it works. Sorry, python.app.apy, and it should work now. Okay, so it's working now, and this is the application looks like. This is our application, and let's select the OpenAI here, and I will select the mini, which is the cheapest one, and let's pass the message here. Explain black hole to a 10-year. Why? Simple. Now I'm going to pass the same exam question to the local LLMs, because local LLM is running for me, and I'm clearing it, passing explain black hole to 10-year. Okay, so you can see the local model is giving more detail. My PC is more capable. It can run this, and GPT OSS 20B. It is need. I don't think it's need 8 GB RAM. It's good enough to run this, but I can run many other models like 3.5B and any others. So this is our application, and I can provide means for different kind of question, I can reach out to different kind of, I can call different type of model provider. For, this is just kind of interesting if you want to jump into LLM based development, local, or you can say generative AI implementation. This is the starting project. It should be a starting project. And that will give you different idea to use those models, this kind of, implementation, this kind of code, generative AI code in different applications. So what we can do next, the first thing, right now we are selecting the question, and we are selecting the model and provider, and based on the question we ourselves are deciding which model we need to do. Yeah, we can enhance it to automatically route to appropriate provider and model based on the question. Enhance all those, mean you can get all this response from different one, and can provide this to another model which can summarize them and give you in precise detail. So these are the many things we can do with this process, and it will help you, And so we don't need to, very good thing about it is that we do not need any each subscription for each provider. It's a minimal. In 50% of the cases, your local provider, local LLM will work fine. And for more detailed and deep research, you can use the frontier model. And if you are use the mini and nano, they are very, very cheap, and the cost of all combined together, it will be far less than subscribing each. ChatGPT itself $20, Claude is $20, any other, if you go Copilot $10 and everything. So we can save money with this particular model. So I can say that